will be the third time that I'm trying to film this intro. So basically, ultimately, what I'm going to try to tell you is that I haven't been on for the last couple of months. I apologize to the few select people who watch me at this point in time. I really, really appreciate your support, and I am sorry that I have yet to really fully commit to this. I will say this partially an excuse, but I do have a 16-month-old. He's had a lot of, I don't want to say health problems, because overall it's not like really been bad, but already after a year, he's already had a cast on his arm for something that wasn't even broken. And then he's had a lot of issues with, you know, working on talking and stuff like that. And it turns out like he can't hear out of his ears because he's got so much fluid in his ears. So now we've got a schedule to get tubes in his ears. So that's pretty much what it's been like for the last like 3 months, along with my work. If you guys don't know, I'm a labor and delivery nurse. Last 2 months, we have broken our record of delivering babies within that month. So it's been a little crazy, to say the least. If you guys want to hear more about that, if you guys are kind of interested in labor and delivery in general and stuff like that, just put some comments down below, ask me any questions. I'll try to answer them to the best of my abilities. And I might, depending on what you guys want to talk about, might do a video on it. So just let me know. Anywho, off topic again. Basically, what this video is about is my return to project panning, because ultimately that's the whole reason why I started these videos, was because I wanted to be able to hold myself accountable to pan some of my products, because that's one of my favorite things to watch on YouTube, is watching people who are panning stuff. It's also really nice because it lets me watch smaller YouTube videos, smaller creators and stuff like that, which is always amazing to see these like fantastic women take time out of their busy schedules as mothers, as career women, stuff like that, to be able to do this and kind of share this with other people to kind of help support each other, which is really, really nice. Obviously, the whole reason why most people, not all, most people project pan is because they want to start getting stuff out of their collection. They maybe want to condense the collection, or they're just working on trying to get expired makeup out of their collection. How many times can Courtney say collection? Anywho, but I was inspired by these women. I kind of been like secretly project panning by myself, but I never like fully committed to it until I tried to start doing some videos. And then of course, like after I started trying to do videos, you realize how much time it takes to do videos. Even as someone who is smaller, doesn't do videos a lot, but has to edit everything, like how much freaking time it takes to even have a somewhat decent video that is somewhat coherent to watch. Kind of hard, kind of difficult to work around. So started kind of realizing that, and then of course everything like at work kind of started getting busy, and then of course with Asher and just family life and all of that kind of took over. So again, return to project panning. Basically, I made the decision that I miss kind of doing actually some of these videos. It was really cool trying to sit down and do them, and I really enjoyed it. But I also am realizing that a lot of the stuff that I'm trying to project pan is there's no way that I'm going to be able to pan it, at least by the end of this year. Mind you, probably some of the stuff even in a freaking year, because they're never ending. Back to the basics. So I'm basically kind of go over some of the stuff that I have worked on, that I've continued to work on since I posted my last video. There's some stuff that I will be keeping in the project pan. There's some stuff that I might truthfully just even freaking throw away because they're just ridiculous. And then there's some stuff that I have finished, but ultimately I'm going to kind of reset and figure out what I want to try to pan for the next 3 months, because that's what I need to I just need to refocus. So now that we've gotten out of that really, really long intro, I know you're probably sitting there saying, Courtney, just stop. Let's just get on into it. And that's what we're gonna do. Let's get on into it. Alrighty. So as I have already filmed my intro 3 times, this is the 3rd time that I've filming this whole thing, because when it comes to 20 minutes, it's not a great video to sit there and try to watch. So we're going kind of rapid fire. Modern Renaissance, love it. This is my first palette that I ever bought, but I'm realizing this is also the oldest palette that I have. It has already passed its expiration date, but the eyeshadows have been performing really well. They're starting to kind of hit that mark where they're not performing as well. So I really need to do something about this. So basically I'm going to give this probably another 6 months, unless for some reason something really bad happens with the eyeshadows. I am going to keep this in, but I'm not going to give myself like a full, like, this is exactly what I'm doing. I'm just going to continue to work on it. And now, since we're starting to get into fall, winter, hopefully I'll actually be getting more use out of this, because these are more fall-y winter colors anyways. So there's that. So we'll be keeping. Something I won't be keeping is my blush. I've been using this for over a year. This is the Flower Pot blush and peach something. It's very, very pretty, and it's nice to sometimes have something that you can literally just like pick up and be like, oh, okay, I don't have to think about it. This is what I'm using. This is what I'm trying to use up. But the problem is I have 7 blushes, including this, in my collection. And now that we're starting to get into fall type weather, I would like to start using a little bit like more deeper, rich blushes than just peach all the time. I want to start getting more use out of my collection. And I think that's kind of one thing that I'm starting to realize. Sometimes I've had some issues with other project panners, because they're like, well, I just want to get more use out of my collection. I'm not going to stick to this. And I'm like, no, stick to it, because you'll get it done if you stick to it. And there's just certain things that you can work on forever, and they're just never going to freaking ever be done. This is one of them. So there is that. I did also want to show you that I got little baby pan in one of my things. So I can't remember if I was trying to pan that or not. If I was, I succeeded. I'm calling that a win, and we'll just kind of watch that for however. If I get more pan out of it before the end of the year, great. If I don't, oh well. So here's one of the other, I was actually trying to kind of use almost all of this. And then of course I really quickly realized that there was no way that I was going to be able to use all of it. So I decided that I was going to try to use 3 of these. And I am really quickly realizing that there's no way that I'm going to be able to use all 3 of those unless I really just slap it on like a crazy person and slap it on other people. Maybe I'll do my husband's makeup while he's asleep and use up some more of my product. We'll never know. But anywho, I've already hit pan on this before. I repressed it. It's just really, really yellow. I might try to use it again, maybe even just for setting eye primer and stuff like that, kind of like what I've been using this for. I'll try to hit a little bit more pan, because I've already hit pan on it again after I repressed it. But the main one that I had been using is this. It's called Shadow Play as a bronzer. It's really pretty, and it works really, really well. I do have a bigger dip in it, as you can kind of tell up at the top. But I just don't know how deep these pans are. I mean, I guess I could kind of figure that out. Hold on one second. I'm gonna see if I got it out. So this is how thick the pan is. So I actually might be so close to, now I'm rethinking everything. What I was going to do with this is this wasn't going to be the only bronzer that I used every single day, because literally for the last 3-4 months, That's pretty much what I'd been doing, and I don't want to do that anymore. I've got like 6 or 7 other bronzers in my collection. I love bronzer, absolutely love bronzer. I actually just got this Kiko one, and it is just like, it's in this, of course it's freaking huge, so, but it's like, it's just so pretty, and I just want to use it so bad, and I feel bad because I feel like I'm cheating. But again, like, you kind of have to, at one point in time, you got to put your foot down and be like, no, you know, I got more things in my collection, I need to use other things, or all of my other things are going to go expired before I can use it up. So I'm going to kind of slow down. I will continue to use it on and off, but it's not going to be my main thing. So it's not, I'm pulling it out of the project technically. If I hit pan, I'll definitely let you guys know, but I'm kind of pulling back from that. So that also being said, the powder that I was using, the All Nighter, is almost done. I'm so excited. I did go ahead, I repressed it, and then I think after I repressed it, it just kind of got powdery and kind of crumbled a little bit. So not 100% all by itself, but like the majority of it, like I did myself. And one of the issues I had with it is it did kind of deepen up my skin a little bit, but it worked well in the summer because I was tanned a little bit. So of course the freaking 21 days of Ulta got me, and I thought I knew. I am not a strong person. It's okay. So I've been kind of working on that. I might actually also, it's kind of hard to tell because it's like so caught up in it, but this is my Fit Me Maybelline, and it's like about right there. So I'm actually, because I've been using this all over the face, and then I've been using this under the wider areas. That way it wasn't like I was getting dark up underneath everything. So this will also be going in. These two are together if I didn't already have that in. I kind of forgot which ones I had in the thing and which ones I didn't. This is something that I will be pulling out of my project pan for now. When we hit more winter months and hopefully my skin will start to get drier again, I will start using this again. But because it hit summer, and I don't know what happened, I think after Asher turned a year, my skin went from, before it was oily, during my pregnancy it was like combo. Like I had dry patches, and then I had oil in some places. Obviously like the T-zone kind of stayed more oily, but that was kind of one of the big, like that I really liked during my pregnancy. But my skin's not that way anymore. It's back to being oily again. So I've been using the Infallible Matte Lock. I'm hoping that I have this done within the next 2 months. I say next 2 months because I want to say a month if it lasts that long, but I can't really fully tell, like even with the light and stuff like that, where it's at. I think it's down here somewhere, but these kind of like trick you sometimes, and it's like when you get down to the end, all of a sudden it just like keeps coming and coming. You're like, where? How? Is there a wormhole inside that packaging? So I'm not going to sit there and say a month. We'll say 2 months. If it goes before then that's where I want to be. So I've got that. That's the main primer that I'm going to use. I have a couple other ones. I did get the e.l.f. poreless thing that I've been using kind of like just on my pores right here. I might throw that in eventually, but as of right now, there's still so much product in it, and it's still a newer thing in my collection. We'll go ahead and do the rest of my face products. Fenty, the Pro Filter Soft Matte. When I first got this, of course, it was when I was pregnant, and I had dry spots, and I was like, everyone's sitting there and saying beautiful things about this for oily skin, because I still thought I had oily skin, and I was like, this is just not working well. I don't know what's going on. I'll try it again at some point in time. And then basically I tried it this summer, and I've been using it nonstop. This is like this is my favorite. It looks fabulous. It's what I'm wearing today. It just looks great. I'm also been using the ColourPop No Filter Concealer, and this is in Light 10. The spatula is actually really good about scraping stuff, so I haven't had to take the stopper out yet to get product, but I mean, you can tell, I mean, it like settles down in the bottom and stuff like that. So I'm getting towards the end of this. The Koki one that I had before, I used up pretty quickly, especially after I took out the stopper. I felt like as soon as I took out the stopper, it kind of dried up a little bit. So I've got that. Also, we'll go ahead and go to highlighter. I've got 2 highlighters that I'm going to put in because they're literally, hopefully, almost done. This is the ColourPop Flexitarian. So kind of, it's a lot better than the last time that you guys saw. So I will say, like, it's definitely, it flakes so much more easily, but it's still pretty, and it still works really well. It does crumble a little bit easier. I think if you've got lighter skin and you like kind of a chunkier glitter type thing, then, well, not even chunky, but like it's more glittery, you will love Flexitarian. I plan on, this is one of those, use it by the end of the year, and if it's not done, then I've got to throw it away because it's been about 2 years, and it's a super shock. It's cream. It's not going to last very much longer anyways. So there's that. This one will hopefully be done within a month. It's completely like crumbled. I've repressed this like multiple times, and I think just the formula is so soft and it feels so good. It goes on really nicely, but it just like, you know, falls apart anytime it like falls or anything like that. So, but I'm not gonna repress it, but it shouldn't take too long to use that up. So there's that. Eye stuff, we already talked about, you know, modern renaissance, all that fun stuff. Here is my Precisely eyebrow pencil. You can see there's not much left on that, so that will be pretty easy to end up using up. I will say that probably the next thing that I'll end up trying to pan, just because I love it, is my e.l.f. brow one. It's not precise. I'm not a very precise person when it comes to my eyebrows. I usually, by the time that I finish my eye look, I'm like, I just throw something on there. And so to try to fill in my brows really quickly with this, like, kind of sucks. So I love the e.l.f. one. It's like, it works beautifully, absolutely works beautifully. So there's that. Here's this thing. This is the bane of my existence. I will continue to work on it, like put it in my waterline. I'm gonna try to do some more smoky eyes and stuff like that sooner rather than later. But this is also one of those things, if I don't finish it up by the end of the year, it's out of here, because I'm not dealing with it anymore. I don't want it anymore. So it's not, and again, it's not like it's horrible, it just doesn't stay very well anyways. It's really black, but again, if it doesn't stay, and I'm not an eye pencil type person, yeah, it's just not gonna work. This is lip liner. The other one that I had, I finished up, not on purpose. It got really dry towards the end. It was really hard to work with, and it just broke. So I've already moved on to bigger and better things. So I actually got a couple of the Milani Color Statement lip liner. This one's 03 in nude, and I actually really like this. A lot of what I've been doing is actually just doing lip liner and then like putting a lip gloss over it, or maybe using a lighter lipstick and putting it in the middle, kind of do that ombre effect type thing. So that's really nice. I did use my NARS mascara. I don't think I'm gonna put any mascaras in anymore. I think for me, because I keep them in, I don't usually overly layer my mascaras, so I feel like I don't get through them as quickly as some people do. I'm starting to layer them more, but I also need to just get to the point where it's like 3 months and you're done. Like, don't use it up until you feel like it's flaky or it's drying out completely. Like 3 months, you're done. I'm also not one of those types of people who to buy mascaras that are like $25 either. Not saying that I won't, but it has to be a really, really special mascara to do that. So I've got a lot of like drugstore stuff. I've got like CoverGirl, Lash Blast, Lash Princess, which I might be throwing out because it flakes all over myself. I got Il Makiage and an Ipsy because they send you stuff as well. I've got a couple of travel size ones, so I'll just work on those and then try to get through those. So mist, face mist. I've got Milani Make It Last setting spray. That's where I was previously. This is where I am now. I'll finish using this up. I don't feel like it works super duper beautifully. I did end up getting the all-nighter, like the big setting spray, and there's not a lot that like overdoes this when it comes to like actually making your face last. It just doesn't. So I'll continue to work on that, but we'll see. The Pixi Vitamin Wake Up Mist for kind of more like skincare stuff. It feels nice. I've not really seen a big like a difference, but it's nice to use in the morning to kind of wake you up. So that should be done by the next time that I see you guys. Other lip stuff. This is the Too Faced. I don't know exactly what it's called. The little bottom fell out, but this is where that little thing was. You can see that I've actually used this a nice little bit. I'm not a person who uses a lot of lip products. I just don't. It's not, I'll put it on in the morning and then I'll forget to reapply. So that's kind of like one of the bad things about this. This is the other one that I was using. I'm not gonna keep this in my project pan. I don't use this color very often. This is one of those things where I'll see if I use it a little bit more. If I use it all of a sudden, for some reason, I absolutely love it and I use it a lot, I will keep you guys updated on it, but at the end of the year, that one's gonna go too. It's not that I don't like the Maybelline formula. This is one of the Maybelline ones that I've had. I think I've almost had this longer than that, but this one is actually one of the only ones that I will sit there and keep in my purse and use. So I might actually, these two might be the ones that like I keep in the project, and then kind of mix these. So there is that. I am going to continue to use, I've got a couple of eye primers. The one that I'm using right now is the Urban Decay Primer Potion. I've been trying to use that a little bit more often since I've been doing colorful looks. I'm realizing quickly that I've got very veiny lids, and so I have to have something that covers it up. So whether or not that's a concealer or that's a primer that has pigment in it, and I think they actually have one that's like a primer potion that has pigment into it, but I can't buy the original again because it just doesn't. And then it makes my, like I was looking at my eyeshadow when I was trying to apply this today, and it almost kind of made it look patchy because you could still see some of the veins through the eyeshadow when I was blending it. So there is that. I think that's it. Alrighty guys, so that's pretty much the end of today's video. It's gonna be definitely a little bit longer. A lot of explaining to do, but I think I'm ready to kind of jump back into this. We'll see how well I can edit this stuff. I'll probably I'll edit it down so it's a little bit of a better pill to swallow instead of like a 25-minute video. But I just want to be able to start doing this again, really start kind of, I think previously when I was doing my like I got back into my makeup and stuff like that, I got to the point where I was getting overwhelmed and I was like, oh, well, if I have to do this, then I have to have people watch. And so that means I have to like market myself, and then I have to put stuff on Instagram and do all of that. And that just wasn't really making me happy because I started worrying about what other people thought of me. I think I've recentered myself a little bit, and I'm back to a point where I'm like, I really actually enjoy doing this stuff. I enjoy putting videos out there. And, you know, being hopefully helping other people with their project pans, and hopefully eventually the more videos that I do, we can talk about more serious subjects and kind of get connected more on a deeper level, because that's really important to me. I realize is being able to connect with people on a good deep level, you know, that's not so superficial, because I feel like that can be somewhat rare these days. So without getting too sappy, this is almost like a first date. I'm gonna try not to get too overwhelming and dramatic for you, but that's kind of why I want to retry to do this again and like actually refocus. So that being said, I think I've got everything that I really want to try to kind of work on. I'm not going to be so hard on myself on trying to get some of this stuff done, but I also need your guys' help to keep me in check and keep me accountable. This is the whole reason why I started this. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate you coming and hanging out with me today. And I will see you guys next time.